أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum my dear students. Today we will take up another topic in this unit, that is structure of atoms. The topic is Bohr's model of atom. On the basis of what the Bohr uh, gives his model of atom, when there were the limitations in Rutherford's model of atom. The limitations like the Rutherford's model of atom could not explain the line spectra. Line spectra वो नहीं explain कर सका. Neither he could explain the stability of an atom. Stability of an atom भी वो explain नहीं कर सका. उसने कहा कि the electron will spiral around the nucleus and ultimately they fall into the nucleus, resulting in the instability of an atom. He could not explain the stability of an atom. Number third is the energy of transition. Energy of transition. तो इनकी बुनियाद पर the Bohr was able to give his model, that is known as Bohr's model of an atom. In fact, Bohr was the first person to explain quantitatively the general features of hydrogen atom structure and its spectrum. यही वो scientist था who was first to explain the general features of hydrogen atom structure and its spectrum. So let's discuss the postulates of Bohr's model. What were the postulates? The first postulate was that the electrons in the hydrogen atom can move around nucleus in a circular path of fixed radius and energy called orbits. उनका नाम orbits रखा गया. तो जो electrons they revolve around, this is nucleus, these are the electrons, they revolve around nucleus in a circular path of fixed radius and energy. इस path का जो radius and energy is fixed. And the electrons revolve around a nucleus in a circular path of fixed radius and energy called orbits. इसको बोहर ने ऑर्बिट कहा. ये रास्ता, ये इलेक्ट्रॉन का एक रास्ता है जिस रास्ते से वो न्यूक्लियस के इर्द गिर्द चक्कर लगाता है. तो these can also be called as stationary states. यानी वो ऑर्बिट्स जिनकी एनर्जी जो है वो हमेशा कांस्टेंट रहती है. फॉर एग्जांपल इस ऑर्बिट की जो एनर्जी है दैट इज स्टेशनरी. तो दिस वाज द फर्स्ट पोस्टुलेट ऑफ बोर्स model of an atom, that is the electrons in the hydrogen atom can move around nucleus in a circular path of fixed radius and energy called orbits. What is the second postulate of Bohr's model of an atom? Energy of the orbit does not change with time. Energy of an orbit does not change with time. वो टाइम के साथ चेंज नहीं हो सकती. However, electron will jump from lower energy state to higher energy state by absorbing a required amount of energy. ये भी postulate जो है, this was the second postulate, the important one, that is the energy of a given orbit does not change with time. However, electron will jump from lower. Electron jump कर सकता है. Electron jump कर सकता है from lower energy state. This is our nucleus. This is the first orbit. This is second orbit. Electron यहाँ से यहाँ तक jump कर सकता है by absorbing required amount of energy. वो required energy absorb करके this lower energy state से higher energy state की तरफ jump कर सकता है, and it can emit an equal amount of energy by jumping down from higher energy state to a lower energy state. यानी इलेक्ट्रॉन emit कर सकता है energy equal. The energy should be equal to the difference of these two stationary states. The energy will be equal to the difference of energy between these two stationary states. यानी अगर इलेक्ट्रॉन इस स्टेशनरी स्टेट से इस स्टेशनरी स्टेट की तरफ जंप करता है तो वो इलेक्ट्रॉन उतनी ही एनर्जी एब्जॉर्ब कर सकता है जितनी कि इन दो एनर्जी स्टेट्स की एनर्जी की डिफरेंस होगी. यानी फॉर एग्जांपल अगर इसकी एनर्जी 4 जूल्स होगी, फॉर एग्जांपल इसकी 5 जूल्स होगी, तो इन दो की डिफरेंस है 5 माइनस 4 दैट इज़ 1 जूल. तो ये इलेक्ट्रॉन जब यहाँ से यहाँ तक जंप कर सकता है वो 1 जूल ऑफ एनर्जी एब्जॉर्ब कर सकता है. सिमिलरली अगर यहाँ से यहाँ की तरफ वो जंप करेगा तो वो 1 जूल ऑफ एनर्जी इमिट कर सकता है. दिस वाज द सेकंड पोस्टुलेट. So what is our third postulate of Bohr's model of an atom? The frequency of absorption or emission. The frequency of absorption or the frequency of radiations. Frequency of radiation absorbed और emit. तो ये हमें पता चला कि कब वो एब्जॉर्ब कर सकता है इलेक्ट्रॉन, कब रेडिएशन एब्जॉर्ब कर सकता है, जब वो लोअर एनर्जी स्टेट से हायर एनर्जी स्टेट की तरफ जंप करता है. तो इमिट जब वैसा वर्षा करेगा तो इमिट करेगा. तो frequency of radiation absorbed and emitted between is given by जो frequency of radiation जो होगी, जो एक इलेक्ट्रॉन एब्जॉर्ब या इमिट कर सकता है, वो इस बोहर ने उसके लिए एक रिलेशन दी है. फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैव डेल्टा E दैट इज चेंज इन एनर्जी is equal to h nu, where nu is the frequency, h is the Planck's constant. We have to calculate this V. So that hv is equal to delta E means change in energy, that is E2 minus E1. Higher energy level to the lower energy level, this is the change in energy. So that V and the frequency is equal to E2 minus E1 divided by h. This relation is known as Bohr's frequency rule. Bohr's frequency rule. यानी इस पोस्टुलेट के अनुसार जो बोहर था, he was able to calculate the frequency of radiations absorbed or emitted by the electron when it jumps from a lower energy state to higher energy state or from higher energy state to lower energy state. इस frequency rule के मुताबिक बोहर इसकी रेडिएशन जो ये इमिट या एब्जॉर्ब करेगा, इसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी निकाल सकता है. So our fourth postulate is important one. important one. Fourth postulate. Angular momentum. Angular momentum. What is angular momentum? Angular momentum is m product of m into v into r. mvr. This is the angular moment, product of mass of the electron, velocity of the electron, and the radius of the orbit. Radius of the orbit. Mass, when this is mass of electron, v is velocity of electron with which it revolves around the nucleus, velocity of electron, and r is equal to radius of orbit. The angular momentum is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. H by 2 pi. Then what is this assumption? Angular momentum is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi, so that we can write as mvr is equal to nh divided by 2 pi, where n is the integer, n belongs to integer, n integer है and is called principal quantum number, इसको principal quantum number कहते हैं. So this is the fourth assumption. Now we came to understand that electron can move only in those orbitals for which its angular momentum is an integral multiple of nh by 2 pi. उन्हीं ऑर्बिट्स के थ्रू एक इलेक्ट्रॉन रिवॉल्व कर सकता है जिन ऑर्बिट्स का एंगुलर मोमेंटम इंटीग्रल मल्टीपल होगा h बाई 2 पाई, यानी जिन ऑर्बिट्स का एंगुलर मोमेंटम इंटीग्रल मल्टीपल ऑफ h बाई 2 पाई. दैट इज व्हाई ओनली सर्टेन फिक्स्ड ऑर्बिटल्स आर अलाउड. यही वजह है कि सर्टेन फिक्स्ड ऑर्बिटल जो है वही अलाउड है. हर किसी ऑर्बिट के थ्रू एक इलेक्ट्रॉन रिवॉल्व नहीं कर सकता है. देयर आर ओनली सर्टेन ऑर्बिट्स थ्रू विच एन इलेक्ट्रॉन कैन रिवॉल्व. that is the angular momentum of that orbital should be an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. These were the assumptions of Bohr's postulates of Bohr's model. So tomorrow we will continue this. Till then, have a good day.